Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about some handstand push-ups and things you can do to get ready for those push-ups. The first thing I really like to do is make sure the forearms are loose and the wrists are feeling good. So pretty simple. You can come over to the wall and lean in, and then we're just going to alternate back and forth on your hands and lower them down, lower them down, lower them down, trying to get your palm back to the wall each time, and that's going to get you a good stretch there. You can do the same thing going up and stretching out the other side there. But we just want to make sure the wrists are good so that when we put our whole body weight there and they are bent, then that's not causing a problem. The other thing you can do before handstand push-ups I would suggest is getting some wrist wraps. That'll also help. You can alternate back and forth. They're not going to hurt you, take you down a notch, if you will, or be really a crutch. It's just gonna make you feel better, hopefully. Another thing you can do is rolling out the forearm with a lacrosse ball. So you can just take that ball, roll it around. If you're tight, always be moving the wrist around so you can get that extra range of motion in there and loosen everything up. So the first thing on handstand is going to be or handstand push-up is going to be actually getting into a handstand position. So when we go upside down, we want to make sure our chin is tucked and we're in a good position there, and make sure our arms are locked out and straight. Okay. So there are a lot of ways to get up there. If you're doing this for the first time, try and have a spotter, someone holding your leg to lift you up. But if you've gotten this far, you should be able to get up there fairly easy and at least do the whole portion. So come on a little bit closer, and as you go up, you want to try and have your fingertips more towards the wall than out. Okay. So you also want a straight line between your hands and your heels on the wall. Okay, and your chin tucked down like so. All right. So when you're doing your hold, you don't want your whole back, your butt up against the wall. You actually want a straight line from the wall to the floor. That way you're going to give yourself some more space when it does come time to do a push-up to move back towards the wall, and we'll talk about that in a second. Okay. So when you're up there, when you're just working on the hold, we want to make sure again that your core is really tight, your rib cage is down, and you are not sticking out like this, sticking your butt back towards the wall. So this would be bad. Okay, that'd be bad. This would be good. Okay, so we squeeze the legs, bring the rib cage back into place so everything is in one straight line. Okay, now as we actually get into a handstand push-up, we want to start to lower down and move our body back towards the wall. So as you lower down, so we're starting in one straight line, we're going to lower down into a tripod position. So my hands are here. My head is going to end up here on this R of this ab mat right here. We don't want our head to be here in the end. That's going to not give us a ton of balance when we're upside down, and it's just going to throw us off a little bit. So going up, going down, head on the R. Now you're good. Now, once you get there, do not try and move your hands around. We want to try and keep tension on the hands and on the shoulders the whole entire time. Okay? If you start moving your hands around, all that weight that was just on your hand is now going to end up on top of your head. Okay? This is already a kind of a complex movement without putting a bunch of extra weight on your spine. Okay? We don't want you to knock your head or have any kind of neck injury. So make sure your hands don't move around. If you start feeling like your hands are moving around, just come on down, reset, and we'll try it again. Okay. So you really need to be able to do the handstand and the lower down into that good position, even before we work on the next thing. Okay. So the next thing is going to be with a spotter at first, trying to do a strict handstand push-up. Okay. Now I'm just going to go down and do this to the mat. An RX typically on a workout is going to be going all the way down to the floor, something level. But just for today's purposes, I'm going to go down this mat, hit my head or touch my head on the R, and then push right back up through. This is going to be the strict. I'd recommend starting out doing with a spotter, like I mentioned a second ago. Okay, so up here, go down, tripod, touch, and then we end up back in that good handstand holding position at the top. Okay, now as we get deeper and deeper into this, get better and better, we can take mats away, we can add mats, that kind of thing. I would never really do more than 2 mats if you don't have that range of motion. If you have to have more than 2 when you're doing a strict, then I would say go to a box push-up, or do that same type of piking box push-up on the wall. Okay, but nothing like with your back to the wall if you can't do the 2 mats there. So the next thing after that is going to be working on kipping. Now this is where it's very, very tempting to release hands and put a lot of pressure on the neck. We don't want to do that. We are spending a little bit more time at the bottom on the kip, but we want to keep the tension up with the hands. Okay, so I'll show you that real quick. There's a few different ways. I'm going to show you the double leg kip all the way down. You can do a single leg if you don't need as much power. 2 legs is going to get you where you need to be though, for sure. All right, so we're here, upside down, get set, back to tripod position, bring your butt back to the wall, knees down to your elbows, kick up, right back into that good solid handstand push-up position. Okay, so when you come down, again, butt goes to the wall, head goes to the floor, elbows come down, or knees come down to the elbows, and then you fire straight up. Now, if you are finding yourself kind of getting stuck on the wall and kind of stubbing up the wall like that, just make sure that you're kicking a little bit more vertically and getting your head through your hands on the way up. This is a big piece that people miss on the kipping because it is so quick coming up. A lot of time we'll go head back, but we really want to tuck that chin and go head forward away from the wall instead of like the back of your head going towards the wall. Okay. So that's a few things on the handstand push-up. Again, we have other videos that go into more detail on this stuff. If you want to check those out. But those are the basics of that stuff. Hope that helps, and we'll see you next time.